everyone, my name is John with Blackbird Productions. I hope everyone's doing all right today. Today I want to talk about 5 things that I hate about my new 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. But before we get into today's video, I want to talk about something simple but also very important, and that's floor mats. Whether you're driving your electric car around town or embarking on a road trip, having the right floor mats can be a big difference. EVBase offers premium quality floor mats designed for the 2024 Tesla Model 3 Highland with a focus on durability, functionality, and style. Their mats are custom fit to ensure they protect your vehicle's interior from dirt, spills, and everyday wear and tear. Plus, they're super easy to clean, so you can spend less time worrying about messes and more time enjoying your drive. So if you're looking to upgrade your EV with accessories that blend practicality with sleek design, check out EVBase's floor mats, and you can use my link in the description with code Blackbird for 20% off your purchase. Thank you to EVBase for supporting the channel. Now back to the video. So, this is 5 things I hate about my new 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. So this was definitely a tough video to make just because I do enjoy this car, and I also plan to make another video detailing 5 things I do enjoy about this car. So the first thing I hate about this car is undoubtedly the quality. I feel like if you're paying upwards of 50 to 60 grand for a brand new car in 2024, I feel that the quality that Tesla offers in their cars are not the best, at least from what I've seen. Like I said in my last video, I have owned a number of great cars. I've been able to have the opportunity to even get in some cars that most people otherwise wouldn't be able to get into. So that includes something like McLaren 720S, BMW i8, stuff like that. And the quality of those cars are undoubtedly unparalleled compared to Tesla. And I'll give you an example for the i8 that I owned. It was about actually the same price as a brand new Tesla. And that just gives you some perspective on where the quality sits in terms of what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a brand new car. And the i8 was made in 2014, which was almost about a decade ago at this point. In terms of the quality, there's a couple things that didn't quite sit right with me with this specific car. The first thing is the orange peel on the paint, which is something that I actually had to look up myself because I didn't really know what that was, because I've never experienced that in a car that I've owned. And like I said, I've owned many cars before getting this Tesla, and none of them I've noticed anything like orange peel on the paint. But essentially it's an orange peel texture. That's why it's called orange peel, but it's an orange peel texture that lines the paint on certain panels of the Tesla, and I've seen this on some Corvettes as well. I don't really know the technicalities of orange peel, but I know it doesn't really look the most desirable on a black car, especially if it's behind a camera that has the ability to film in 6K downscaled to 4K. So essentially what I'm saying is the camera brings out those details a lot more when you're looking at the car in a video as opposed to looking at it in real life, but you still do notice it up close in real life. The second quality issue I have was around some of the materials that are used. Although the materials are much better in this model year, I feel that it's still not 100%. A good example is a light strip. I'll actually put a video of what the light strip looks like right now, and I've seen this plastered all over the subreddit for Model 3, which is a subreddit that I follow. And essentially what happens is there's some bubbling or some sort of like adhesive that's coming off the light strip, and it just looks like bubbles. And I have a feeling that they might even just recall this if enough people start to complain about it. And I think it's due to just the heat, the summer heat, especially here in Texas. Here in Texas, it's been 100 pretty much for the past month. And when you're having your car parked outside for an extended period of time, then something like that could definitely happen if the adhesive that they use isn't quality. The third quality issue I have is around the technology. I'll say the technology overall in the Tesla is solid. It's the most advanced car that I've driven just because it automates a lot of the mundane tasks that someone might be encountering when they're driving a car from point A to point B every day. And it does make those commutes more fun. However, I feel that in Tesla's quest to automate everything, I think that a lot of different things that they do automate isn't really needed, and a lot of it is redundant, and I feel like a lot of it is just there just to show someone something cool. It's not really as practical as you might think. A good example is something that I alluded to in my last video, and it's around the automatic blind spot cameras. So again, this is just one example, but with the blind spot cameras, when you turn on your turn signals, there's actually a camera that comes up inside the screen, and what happens is each time you do that, it comes up there. But the problem with me is that it's super distracting because it's the first thing your eyes look at when you're darting across trying to look over to see if anything is in your blind spot, and that's personally what I'm used to. Maybe it's just something I have to get used to, but it's sort of an annoyance to me. So that was one of the options that I turned off amongst a couple of other automation options that I didn't really like. Essentially, I want to have control of my car, and then I also want to have the flexibility to turn on and off those options and many other options that Tesla offers to automate your driving experience. So I am grateful that they gave us the option to do that. And the other thing related to technology is the radios in the car, specifically around the Wi-Fi hotspot radio, which is something that I still haven't quite figured out yet. Essentially, what I want is the ability to use my hotspot on my phone as opposed to connecting to premium connectivity, because if you don't know, premium connectivity is like a phone plan with extra perks. That's basically what it is. And my thought is, if I already have a phone plan that I pay for unlimited data for every month plus hotspot data, which it's not the most data, but I want to say it's maybe like 20 gigs of premium data, I want to be able to use that data in my car. But the problem with this specific Tesla, I'm not sure if it's just me, but what happens is when I connect my hotspot to my car, it doesn't always register, or it doesn't always read the phone. And I know it's not the phone because I've never had any issues with this specific phone and its hotspot capabilities for the 2 or 3 years that I've owned it up until now. It also connects to my devices pretty easily. The only device it has problems connecting to is the Tesla, and I'd say it roughly connects about 30% of the time. When I had my mobile service appointment to fix my trunk lining, I even asked my service advisor, hey, have you had any customers complain about the Wi-Fi radio in the car as it aligns to using your hotspot on your phone? And I swear, he looked at me like I was speaking another language. Like, his face was so confused. So I had to explain it to him, and he still didn't really give me a concrete answer. So it's still something that's ongoing that I have to figure out myself. So the next thing that I hate about this specific Tesla is the seats. The seats are good. I'll say they're not the best I've sat in. The best seats I've sat in is probably in my Lexus UX 200 F Sport. They have bolstering similar to this car, but it's a little bit less. And they actually do hug you, and it's made for a variety of frames, if you will, a variety of builds of people. So if you're a bigger person, you can easily fit in that car. If you're a skinnier person like me, then you could fit in that car pretty easily. The problem with the Model 3 Performance for this year is I do have a tough time getting in and out of this car just because the bolstering is high, and it almost looks like it's like it feels like a bucket seat to me. And I feel like with this type of car being a sports car, I don't think it should have that aggressive bolstering. But you could say it's a nitpick, but undoubtedly it's definitely a fact that I have trouble getting in and out. Even with the easy mode turned on, I still have to kind of slip over the bolstering, and I just don't know how that bolstering will hold up over time after you repeatedly slide and glide over it trying to get in and out of the car. The last thing I hate about this new Tesla is the trunk. For the trunk, I think I've hit my head on that trunk on the corner specifically maybe about 3 times now, and it hurt. So if you don't know, or for the unacquainted, the Tesla Model 3 is not a hatchback. Originally, I want to say earlier on when the Model 3 first came out, I thought it was a hatchback, but with this specific model year, it's not. And I feel like having a hatchback would solve a lot of these issues that I'm about to describe. So the first thing, when you open up your rear trunk for your Tesla, it's a very wide opening. So you have to be sure not to have anything in the way when you're backing up, for example, into a garage. With me, I live in an apartment and it's a single car garage that I have, and I have stuff on the back of the wall. And what happens is if the trunk or if the car is backed up too close, it won't have enough room to open the trunk. And from what I've seen, there's not any sensors preventing it from scraping across anything that's stacked up in my garage. The other thing is the trunk comes up at a slope. So even if you're like me, sort of a shorter person, I'm about 5'8.5", maybe 5'9" on a good day. Essentially, you have to duck under the trunk to get your stuff out. And I'd say about the first week or two, it really took me a while to get used to that. And that's why I hit my head so many times on the corner of the trunk. The other thing is Tesla gives you the ability to stand behind the trunk and it will beep 3 or 4 times and the trunk will open by itself. And I've had issues with this feature as well, just because my garage door to get inside my garage is at the back where the car is parked. So it always thinks that I'm close enough to the car to where it'll start opening up. And sure enough, there'll be some stuff stacked up in the back of the garage. And if it tries to open up, I have to quickly force it down in order to stop it from hitting those various items. So that is 5 things that I hate about my new Tesla Model 3 Performance. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this was also insightful. So if you are in the market for a new Tesla, you are aware of some of these things. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and also consider subscribing to the channel. I create 2 new videos each week, and I have a plethora of content planned for the next couple of months. So if you enjoy hearing me and also seeing cinematic visuals of the cars that I have the opportunity to film, I'd love to have you join the channel as a subscriber. This has been John with Blackbird Productions, and I'll see you in the next video.